Okay, so continuing part two of A Rude Awakening, episode 40, is one question, which is I'm going to delve into A Course in Miracles as the answer. And so, separate recording. And so, the question is, Dear Luigi, I love your directness. So, let me ask you, do you believe in parallel universes? And then he goes on for the next 4 pages. He writes a dissertation here. He goes and describes several quantum theories on parallel universes and explains the different authors. There's 4 or 5 authors. He explains various scientists and quantum theorists. And now you want to know, do I believe in parallel universes? What does it matter whether I believe in parallel universes or not? I believe there's one universe. Hell, we can't even make it back to the moon properly yet, or so we say. And so now, what do you want to know if there's parallel universes? What is a universe? A universe is a subjective reality. That's it. Okay, it's a subjective reality which is objectified as an object, objectified reality. But it's you, subject, object, subjective, objective reality. There's only one dreaming mind, and the entire universe is the contents of one dreaming mind. That's what I know. I believe. How do I know that? When I return to being, when I abide in self, when I rest as awareness, the all-pervading omnipresence of the presence of the divine, the essence energy we are, the life force that flows through us, the awareness of awareness, there's so many ways of saying this, shares with me all of itself, which is just pure awareness, in which there's no objects, there's just the essence energy of all of it, which is the shared essence energy of the entire universe, which is the same essence energy of our mind, of which part of it dreams, and yet that essence energy is in our mind. So the appearances of celestial bodies, characters, planets, beings in the universe, whether it be first dream and second dream, the secret dream, it's all still essence energy. And so it's indivisible. It's unconditional love. Now, as we fell asleep and fractured ourselves, each fracture of ourselves lives in its own world, lives in its own universe, lives in its own precognition of self, projection, misperception, identification with thought, feelings, sensations, and then physicality, space, time, matter. And each separate fractured self, spirit being, which then projects into physicality, physical thought in form, is a thought in our dreaming mind. And each one observes the content of dreams from a slightly different perspective, hence the fracturing, because the dreaming mind wanted to look at itself from every possible angle, commune with itself, conversation, communication, connection, in order to understand itself better, because alone, or feeling alone, or thinking it's alone, it couldn't communicate. But by fracturing itself, it's like the left hand communicates with the right hand, and they seem to come together and unite. But what's physical can't unite, it just gets into close proximity. And then we get into all sorts of quantum theories of what's really happening. The reality is, the reality of what we are experiencing is an unreality. It's a dream reality. It's a subconscious reality. It's a dream subconscious reality. And yet there are glimpses into the essence, energy of what we are, true reality, absolute reality, the reality we share with our essence energy, self, Christ self, God. God isn't dreaming. A part of the extension of God is dreaming, and that dreaming essence energy, that expression, we call it mind, spirit mind, is experiencing itself as a fractured universe. And yet it experiences itself through its thoughts of itself, thoughts that appear to take form, and through those thought informs, it then negates reality. I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not this, I'm not that, the neti neti, and gets to deductive conclusions, therefore I must be, or I'm possibly that. And through 16.4 billion years, and people will say 13.4 billion years. They are incorrect. It's 16.4 billion years. That's how old the universe is in terms of our space-time linear calculation. And it'll come. The scientists will figure out soon enough. 16.4, not 13.4, as most scientists say. 9,000, 3,000 regressions. No one aware of previous incarnations, all remembered 16.4 billion. So many other, truisms came through those experiences. So the recognition of self comes through the negation. I'm not this, I'm not that. And so each one of us, each fractured thought and form actually lives in its own universe. So are there parallel universes? Yes, there's 8 billion on planet Earth, 9 septillion throughout one universe, one dreaming mind. But this is not important. What's important is Rude Awakening, PG 33. Hear me now? Why the fuck do you want to know if there are more universes? Are you happy? Are you at peace? Have you got stability in your life? Are you content with being? Because I can guarantee you not. And that's why ego mind, your fractured self, your fear-based dreaming mind, is diverting attention from what's really important for you, which is the peace of God, which transcends understanding into the knowing of your being, of our one shared indivisible self. So if you truly want to know whether there's parallel universes, why not inquire as to why do I want to know? And I can tell you, people that want to know if there's parallel universes is because they're having a miserable fucking time on planet Earth. And they hope that some form of themselves in some other distant galaxy, universe, or whatever is a magnificent superstar. And how would that help you if you're still a miserable schmuck here now? So don't worry about whether parts of yourself are happier. I can promise you on this planet, 8 billion of us, there's a few happy little souls running around, and they are parts of yourself. So, yes, there's parts of you that are totally happy, appearing to look like someone else with a different name, but it's all you. But what you want to do is, as this fractured thought in form appearing as you want to return to the essence nature of being. You want to return to the lightness of being, the infinite lightness of being you are, the awareness of awareness. And the only way you're going to do that is by resting in God. And when you're not resting in God, you're practicing practical forgiveness, true forgiveness, which isn't I'm right, everybody else is wrong, and I forgive them because they've done me harm. But I recognize I've done this to myself. I'm dreaming all of this up. Find the source of thoughts. I explained it in the previous episode. Find the source of those thoughts of fearsome guilt, where you're not good enough. Find the source of thoughts of fear, and you'll find there's no source to them. There's no origin. They don't exist. Then return to the awareness of being. And the way you do that is abide and offer gratitude and make sure that you observe the thoughts without grabbing onto them. And then once you've observed them and you know they have no source, but they're trying to make you think that you think them, you watch them without attachment. You watch them without expectation. You don't try and get rid of them. You just say no thanks and return to gratitude. Every moment you can, return to gratitude. Abide. That is true meditation. Recognize that what wants to know if there's parallel universe is the part of you that doesn't want to turn inward and face the empty void inside. We all avoid the void, thinking that going into the void is death, thinking going into the void is the end of being. Well, it's the end of identification with being, but it's the true essence of being, because within the void is your true essential nature. The void is devoid of nothing. The void is the fullness of divine being, the fullness of God, the present moment awareness. In the void is full. I mean, imagine space. In space, there's no sound. You can't hear a sound. The void is soundless, perfect silence, total stillness. And yet that stillness moves, expands. That stillness is peace, and the expansion of that stillness is joy, the joyous lightness of being, the essence energy of what you are. Abide, offer gratitude, abide, offer gratitude. Thoughts come to tempt you. Temptation. What's temptation? To see things not as they are, to believe the thoughts are yours, to believe not only are those thoughts yours, but those thoughts that attack you and tell you you're not good enough and you're unworthy, or that the world's an evil place and that you want to attack your brother, that tell you that your brother aren't made from the same essence and as you. Those thoughts you say, no thanks. Get behind me, Satan, was the teaching of Jesus when thoughts attacked him. No thanks. Thought is Satan. Thought is ego. Ego is Satan. No thanks. What is ego? Just a cluster of misperceived thoughts about what you are. You are pure essence energy. What's essence energy? Source energy. What's source energy? Source is God. Source energy is the extension of God. The extension of God is known as the sonship, the Holy Son of God. Holy Spirit, one indivisible spirit. God is spirit and you abide in him. You are spirit, God abides in you. Where does he abide in you? Well, it's not in you because you're in God, but it's everywhere. It permeates right through you. It's the essence of being, not the appearance of cells and bodies in space and time, but the essence energy, the life force, the life spark, the awareness of awareness. So, do you really want to know? And I urge you, those of you that have got A Course in Miracles, turn to chapter 31.4. So instead of going into parallel universes, get into the true non-dual teaching of A Course in Miracles. So here we go, chapter 31.4, the real alternative. There is a tendency to think the world can offer consolation, the world, the universe, science, can offer consolation and escape from problems, that its purpose is to keep you trapped in trying to find meaning in something that is completely meaningless. Why should this be? Because it is a place where choice amongst illusions seems to be the only choice, and you are in control of outcomes by your choosing. Thus, you think within the narrow band from birth to death, a little time is given you to use for you alone, a time when everyone conflicts with you, but you can choose which road will lead you out of conflict and away from difficulties that concern you not. Hell, you don't even know how to make it to the nearest hospital, never mind nearest supermarket, never mind nearest planet. Now you want to know about parallel universes. They're not your concern. How then can you escape from them by leaving them behind? By not worrying about parallel universes or parallel planets or where the Anunnaki reside and are they coming back to capture mankind? Okay. What must go with you, you will take with you whatever road you choose to walk along. So why are these thoughts there? Because inherently in you, there's a fear of death. And you hope that perhaps if you die on this planet or this universe, you'll be alive in another one, or you'll have a better life in another one. Be present here now, Holy Son of God. Real choice is no illusion, and that's a real choice to be present as awareness, to rest in God. But the world has none to offer. All its roads but lead to disappointment, nothingness, and death. No school of thought brings you to the awakening of self. There's no enlightenment in a book. There's no enlightenment in any body. Enlightenment is of our dreaming mind. There is no choice in its alternative. Seek not escape from problems here. Do not detach, run away, and isolate. Pour yourself into all of it. The world was made that problems could not be escaped. Be not deceived by all the different names its roads are given: science, quantum physics, astronomy, astrology, mathematics, blah, 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 blah. Non-duality, A Course in Miracles, Advaita Vedanta. Blah, blah, blah. They have but one end. Like the Course says, put down this book, put down this course, and come with holy empty hands to your God. And each is but a means to gain that end. For it is here that all roads will lead. However differently they seem to start, however differently they seem to go, their end is certain, for there is no choice amongst them. They all lead to illusions. All of them would lead to death, the death illusion, the illusion of death. On some you travel gaily for a while before the bleakness enters, and on some the thorns are felt at once. You know, let's not go there, Lewis. The choice is not what will the ending be, but when it comes, because that all ends in some travesty. There is no choice where every end is sure. Perhaps you would prefer to try them all. This one tried just about all of them before you really learned they are but one. The roads this world can offer seem quite to be quite large in number, but the time must come when everyone begins to see how like they are to one another. Men have died on seeing this. The disillusionment with alchemy, for example, because they saw no way except the pathways offered by the world. And learning that they led nowhere, they lost their hope, as many a spiritual religious person has. And yet, this was the time they could have learnt their greatest lesson. I could see peace instead of this. Holy Spirit, show me another way. All must reach this point and go beyond it. It is true indeed, there is no choice at all within the world. But that is not the lesson in itself. The lesson has a purpose. And in this, you come to understand what it is for. Why would you seek to try another road, another path, another quantum physics, another theory, another religion, another ashram, another spiritual satsang? There. Stop. Another person, another place. When you've learned the way the lesson starts, but do not yet perceive what it is for. What is any lesson in this world for? I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not this, I'm not that. Be still and know I am. Its purpose is the answer to the search that all must undertake who still believe there is another answer to be found. Learn now without despair. There is no hope of another answer in this world. But do not judge the lesson that is but begun with this. Seek not another signpost, another sign, in the world that seems to point still to another road. No longer look for hope where there is none. There is no answer in this world. The memory for God is not in people, places, things, and events. The memory for God is in the stillness within the temple. Make fast your learning now and understand, but you waste time unless you go beyond what you have learned, what have learned to learn and is yet to learn. From this lowest point will learning lead to heights of happiness, in which you see the purpose of the lesson shining clear and perfectly within your learning grasp. Abide, Holy Son of God, in gratitude and practice forgiveness when any thought, temptation, to judge the moment not as it is, to resist what is. That is true temptation. Who would be willing to turn away from all the roadways of the world unless he understood their real futility? It is not needed that he should begin with this, to seek another way instead. For while he sees, is it not needful that he should begin with this, to seek another way instead? And another way is to be shown another way, not to go choosing another way. For while he sees another choice where there is none, what power of decision can he use? The great release of power must begin with learning where it really has a use. And what decision has power if it be applied to a situation without choices? Always remember, what is it for? And if it's to show you the true nature of your essential self, then what book can teach you that? Abide in gratitude. Practice forgiveness. Gratitude, forgiveness, gratitude, forgiveness. True forgiveness. I've done this to myself. The learning that the world can offer, but one choice, no matter what its form may be, is the beginning of acceptance that there is a real alternative instead. To fight against this step is to defeat your purpose here. You did not come to learn to find a road the world does not contain. The search for different pathways in the world is but the search for different forms of truth. And this would keep the truth from being reached, because there's only one truism. Be yourself knowingly, not found on a path. Think not that happiness is ever found by following a road away from it. And that's all the pathways of this world, all spiritual paths, all religious paths. Just abide. All paths are going to take you to ask you to abide and be still and know I am. This makes no sense and cannot be the way. To you who seem to find this course too difficult to learn. Remember, you think it's too difficult, you're being arrogant. You're being arrogant. You're being the Antichrist. It's not difficult. You just got to be willing. It's so simple. Let me repeat that to achieve a goal, you must proceed in its direction, not away from it. So if it's too intellectual for you, or too heavy for you, too busy, then just use that time. Put the course in your hands and sit with it in silence. Okay? Transference will happen. And every road that leads to the other way will not advance the purpose to be found. If this be difficult to understand, then is this course impossible to learn. Okay? So what's impossible to learn? And every road that leads the other way will not advance the purpose to be found. There is no other path. No ashram, no retreat, no spirit, nothing. Abide in gratitude. Okay, don't get into discussions and arguments. Share, learn from everybody. Ask your holy companion, the Holy Spirit within, the memory for God within, which is the present moment awareness, which you can only access when you're present in stillness. If this be difficult to understand, then this course is impossible to learn, but only then. For otherwise, it is a simple teaching in the obvious, secrets of the obvious. There is a choice that you have the power to make when you have seen the real alternatives. Until that point is reached, you have no choice because you think understanding planets, universes, solar systems, quantum, blah, blah, blah is going to figure it out. And that you can but decide how you would choose to deceive yourself again. This course attempts to teach you no more than that the power of decision cannot lie in choosing different forms of what is still the same illusion and the same mistake. Planets, universes, solar systems, all the same nonsense. Space, time. You but travel in dreams through time that never existed to a place you've never left, only to recognize you are that which you search for. All choices in the world depend on this. You choose between your brother and yourself. And if you see your brother separated from yourself, you choose separation. If you recognize your brother as a mirror of self and therefore joined in one indivisible self, you've chosen salvation. And you will gain as much as he will lose, and what you lose is what is given him. How utterly opposed to truth is this? When all the lesson's purpose is to teach that what your brother loses, you have lost. And what he gains is what's given you. What's given to one is given to all. Now, when you offer all of yourself to your brother and they don't want it, they push you away and they reject you, and they try and keep things for themselves, what happens? You're still expanding, you're still sharing. What happens to them? They contract and they crumble and they die in the world of dreams, only to resurrect in illusions and to make manifest again and then to start the cycle again. But you do not need to offer resistance. You just offer the love of God and you release yourself. Atonement's only for self. Okay. He has not left his thoughts, but you forgot his presence and remembered not his love. So don't ever project hatred, anger, malice, vengeance onto anyone. No pathway in the world can lead to him, capital Him, to God, or to the Holy Spirit, or to your holy self, nor any worldly goal to be one with his, your true self, the essence energy of God. What road in all the world will lead within, when every road was made to separate the journey from the purpose it must have, unless it be but futile wandering? I need to read that again. Eyes are jumping all over the place. What road in all the world will lead within, when every road was made to separate the journey from the purpose it must have, unless it be but futile wandering? All roads lead away from what you are, will lead you to confusion and despair. And yet it's closer than close. So, what path is there to the direct experience of awareness of being? Closer than close. Step in, rest in God, rest in the heart space, go quiet, give gratitude. Yet, has He never left His thoughts to die? God's never left you without their source forever in themselves. He has not left His thoughts. He could no more depart from them than they could keep Him out. You cannot keep God out because you're in God. In unity with them, do they all abide. In their oneness, both are kept complete. There is no road that leads away from Him. A journey from yourself does not exist. No parallel universe, no star system. Mr. Musk can waste all the money in the universe to go get to Mars. What are you going to do? You can't fix the planet. You're going to go fuck Mars up completely. It's a human monkey, messes it up. Abide, abide, abide. How foolish and insane it is to think that there could be a road with such an aim. Where could it go? And how could you be made to travel on it, walking there without your own reality at one with you? And that's why you're confused. You're looking for alternative realities, alternative universes. There's one indivisible reality. Abide within, give grace, give gratitude, abide. And more than the universe will be showing you. Okay. Forgive yourself your madness and forget all senseless journeys and goalless aims. They have no meaning. You cannot escape from what you are. Holy Son of God, holy extension of source energy. For God, love is merciful. Awareness is merciful. and did not let his son, the awareness of awareness, the extension of awareness, abandon him. For what he is, be thankful. For what you are, be thankful. You are awareness. For in that is your escape from madness and from death, from the illusion, the idea of madness, from death, from limitlessness, from limitations. You are limitless. There's no beginning and end to what you are. Nowhere but nowhere but where he is can you be found. Where are you? In God. You've never left. So find God within the temple, the tabernacle in which the Holy One abides as the presence of being, the awareness of awareness. There is no path that does not lead to him. There's no path that doesn't lead to self. There's no path that doesn't lead to God, because one indivisible self, self and God. Atman is Brahman. Christ is God. Maybe not the answer you wanted. Maybe you wanted me to agree with you there's parallel universes. What's the point? The point is, do you know self? Do you know the essence energy of self? You know the essential nature of self. And that essential nature is the essence energy. And that essence energy is the awareness of self, the awareness of being. And that being, that essence energy is shared with everything and everyone in the universe, one indivisible beingness. And all of that is a joyful awareness of being, present moment awareness, pure peace. And when you recognize that, the world is seen anew, the universe is seen anew. It now becomes a happy dream, and you become a light in that dream that awakens your refractions, your mirrors, the fractured parts of yourself, because you become the light that ignites the light in them. You're like a hall filled with candles in complete darkness, and just takes one candle to spontaneously combust. And as it combusts and the light lights up, the candles around it are all shown to all have a wick, to all have awareness. And so by leaning over, you light the next one, and they lean over and they light the next one. And before you know it, you have a hall filled with candles, lit, and it shines the beauty of the hall, the awareness of being, the light of awareness. We all are, and share with the light, which is our source energy, the light we have called God. Be that knowingly. Abide. Thanks for your questions. Rest is awareness, rest in God. Keep the questions coming, and I will do my best to answer them as clearly and non dualistically as possible. No more stay.